I'm Mark Gregory, and I've spent a lifetime in kitchens across the world and made it to the very top of the game. Cooking for royalty, presidents, prime ministers, movie stars, pop legends and sporting greats. But now I've come home to my castle in New Zealand, where life is all about family and friends. In this series, I'm going to give you all the ingredients you need to create the most memorable Christmas. With simple dishes that don't cost the earth, but taste $1 million. Delicious gifts that will really mean something to those receiving them. And some of the simplest but most fun party games to round off any Christmas occasion.
Welcome to Christmas at the Castle.
On today's show, we make my delicious chocolate Christmas pudding with a white brandy sauce that's flaming good. Today's guest is Annabelle White, making a festive gift. And later, we make a game with Reindeer Poo. Don't worry, it'll make sense and everyone will laugh. And now it's time for my close friend. It's Mrs. Christmas herself, Annabelle White.
Mark, hello.
Oh.
Thank you so much. I thought I'd bring a little bit of Christmas cheer.
Oh.
I would deliver the joy. It's a little bit tired, the poinsettia here. And you know Coco Chanel,
Yes.
She always says, look in the mirror before you go out and take something off. And put it on. So here we go. Throw this off. Here we go.
I'll hang it up for you.
I'm so
honestly.
excited about this because I know that when I'm in Mark Gregory's kitchen, we're going to make some delicious treats for everybody.
We are. Now you're helping me today.
Yes.
And we're making a delicious farmer's market
Yes.
strawberry jam. So you know how people send less Christmas cards these days?
Yes.
We're
I
actually going to
noticed.
give them gifts.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully you'll get that back up to about 40 pots of jam for Christmas.
Oh, how fantastic. Now, look, the main thing is if you can't get fresh strawberries, you can use frozen if you have to.
You can.
Okay, all
And
right.
there's also, important point, 2 kinds of sugar.
Okay.
Today we're going to be using a jam setting sugar.
Yeah.
And this has got citric acid and pectin in it, which magically helps your jam set.
Sure, and the strawberries knew that. Now, listen, we've got about 2 kgs of fruit here, but what I like about you, and I noticed with your careful recipe, Mark, is that you don't have equal quantities of fruit and sugar, which is what a lot of people do. And I'm really grateful because I know, look, I've done my height to weight ratio. I should be 7'5", so I've worked out that I really do need to have less sugar in my life. So, to a certain extent, it's great that you haven't got that equal quantity.
No, it's not equal. We've got a little bit less sugar. But first, I need to explain my discoloured food processor, which I bought in 1987.
No way.
This is the best food processor ever. I can't replace it.
It's longer
so I'm
than-
sorry if it looks like an antique, because it is.
It's longer than most relationships.
But it is the best design ever.
Yeah.
Here we go. There you go, Glenn. Can you see in there? The sides are rounded. So when you chop things, it's like a maelstrom in there.
Okay, great. All right.
So what we need to do, Annabelle, is we need to chop the strawberries a little bit
Yes.
and plonk them in the pot.
Now, I want to point out to you, I have just sanitized my hands, so they're completely clean. Do you mind if I just go ahead and
Absolutely,
do that?
go for it.
Okay, so I'm putting in, how much am I putting in at a time, do you think?
Just fill it.
Just go for
Just
it.
fill it, yes. Okay. I've only been doing this for nearly 40 years.
Yes, I know. You've got the touch. You've got the touch. Oh. Now, you may notice I bought my own wooden spoon. I think a woman should always travel with a wooden spoon. It's a great weapon.
Okay.
Right, here we
I'm glad
go.
that's for that.
I'm putting it in here. This is going to be marvellous. Here we go,
Yes,
darling.
thank you.
Okay,
I am the kitchen assistant.
now the
Anything else I can get you, madam?
No, but they've got 2 kgs of fruit, and we're going to put 1.8 kgs of sugar in here. Okay.
You've made a mess.
I know.
In my kitchen.
I don't actually get invited out much for this very reason. Now, the interesting thing, and what people will find quite curious, is that we're putting the 1.8 amount of sugar in here, and we're going to do very low flame. I'll let you do that because I tend to send things through the stratosphere.
What we've first got to do is melt the sugar with the
Yes.
strawberries. So we
Yes.
do that over a medium heat. It'll take a little while.
Yes.
Then, when it's bubbling nice and gently,
Yes.
turn it up, boil it rapidly for 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then that's when we pour a little bit on a cold plate.
Yes.
Pop it in the fridge.
Yes. But the interesting thing about you, Mark, there's no off on your switch, let me tell you this, my friend. All those wonderful accolades you've got as a chef, the wonderful thing is that for the home cook, you give such fantastic advice. And it is, first of all, you add lemon juice because that helps. Even though we've got the jam setting sugar, the lemon juice is going to help.
It'll activate the pectin and the citric acid to help it set a little bit more.
Do you know what else too? I'm a huge fan of lemon juice in anything. And I actually do think that as well as it does those other marvellous things, it adds something to the flavour.
It does.
Cuts through
It's
that
a little,
richness.
It's a little acidity.
Got this going here. We've got the fruit. Oh,
so
yahoo.
just stir it occasionally now.
Oh, okay.
And, you know,
Could I overmix
hang
it?
on, your spoon's bent.
No, I know. In so many ways. Now, the interesting thing about your recipe is that you also add, now I've never done this before with jam,
Yep.
you add butter.
A little knob of butter. I will add that to the strawberry jam.
Have a good
now,
look.
As it boils, you don't need to stir that in. Let's just get it hot now.
Just get it hot, steady in the base, right? So I don't want to
The
ruin your
butter
jam.
will melt.
Yes.
And what will happen, this will form a scum. It's a technical term.
Yes.
We will spoon it off with a
Yes.
ladle into something else, but the butter will help us collect it. Looking at the jam,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably going to take about 15 minutes to come to a boil.
There's the scum on top of the jam, which we will remove. The butter's done the job.
Okay, so let's get it off. So what we do, just push it to the sides. There you go, you can see all that foamy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much what we're trying to get rid of.
That butter has done the work there.
Yes.
Now, you're now got it on a hard boil, and it's going to be boiling away for about 10 minutes. And the interesting thing, what is important to know about the sugar, is that if you use regular sugar, you might need your thermometer to make sure that it
You
gets
will.
up to
Now,
105.
if it's not magical jam setting sugar,
Yep.
which you get at the supermarket, you will need a jam thermometer.
Yep.
And I've got one,
Of course you have, Mark.
again from the 80s. So this is basically a sugar thermometer, and all you're looking for is 105 degrees Celsius, which is about 220 Fahrenheit. And the jam setting sugar,
Yes.
you boil it for about 4 to 5 minutes.
Right?
If it's 105 degrees, it could be anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes.
Okay. All right. So there's the variation. So really, for the home cook, the jam setting sugar
Yeah.
is a real bonus, isn't it?
Oh, it's magic.
It's magic.
It's
Okay.
magic. In fact, what we must do is test the jam to see if it'll set.
Perfect.
So I've got a little ladle here.
I've got my spoon,
We put some jam on a plate,
like so.
like so. Pop that into the fridge for 10 minutes and let's see if it sets. That's been in the fridge, it's stone cold. Just push your finger
Oh, look at that.
towards the center and we call these legs. And if it's got legs,
Oh,
it's going to set and it crinkles up.
got legs.
This amount of jam,
Yes.
which is about 3.8 kilos, is enough. Yeah,
Oh, let me do
is
something.
enough for about 8, 9, 10 little jars. Now, some of these are a little bit larger, but you
Yes.
will get lots of jam.
Oh, this is just
That's
splendid.
it. So when it comes to the bottom of the collar,
To do it. Now, the
It's
thing is,
ready.
do you keep this jam in the pantry or would you keep it in the fridge? What do you do?
I like to put a little wax disc on top of mine, put a lid on, and store it in the fridge. And
Okay.
if you do that,
Yes.
it will last a long time.
But there's also some merit in actually halving the recipe and making smaller amounts. I know some people, they say, I don't make a lot of jam. I just make small amounts often.
What a load of rubbish.
No, but
I've got it. Oh, hold on, hold
the
on.
idea being is it's nice and fresh and pure and lovely, and you've got time to do it. So, you know,
The time to make jam or pickles or anything is when the fruit is in season.
I know.
Tastes good and it's cheap. What we're going to do,
Yes.
we're going to show how to finish the jam and turn it into a gift.
Oh, okay. Do you do that, Mark? You're good
so
at
there's
that.
one I made earlier. So if
Yes.
you can imagine, just get the right size lid.
I got them all matching up for you.
So, but what I've got here is, let's personalize them because it's lovely making something, but if you make it a little bit more festive,
Do you know what? I think the personalisation is something that you do so well, and it is so nice. You mean you put someone's name in there?
what's your friend's name?
Tom.
Tom. Hi, Tom.
I made the jam. Say that. You've got to be honest, because he thinks I made it.
The jam. Love the Annabelle. Because I think making them look a little bit pretty and a little bit more festive
But I have to say,
turns it into that sort of artisan farmer's market.
you have no
type of
idea
gift.
how rewarding this is to do this, knowing that you're making something so lovely. And people are going to, how lovely is this? And often at Christmas time, people have got extra company coming,
They
and
have.
you know they've got extra mouths to feed, and you've got lovely jam
Who
and
doesn't?
toast. Oh, how lovely!
So there we have one ready to go. And then what I did do, I went online And I ordered for about 20 cents each. Some nice little festive bags.
How about a bit of tissue?
So, where?
No, I'm joking. You can put a paper
So there's
towel
our little
in there.
jar. Now,
Yes.
would you like a big jar?
Yes, are you kidding?
Okay, so we can give this one to Tom then.
Okay.
A rather large jar. So, how many jars are you getting there? You like...
I know. And look at
You're
that.
like a magician.
You don't waste anything. And I'm just, you know what you could do? This is what I would do. I would give that to the mother-in-law for Christmas. I would give her that and say, thank you so much. It's been lovely having you at Christmas.
Yes, you've been so good to me all year.
Yeah, you'd be so good. I'm only joking.
Now with these, let them cool down.
Really? Yes.
Yep, let them cool down.
Yes.
Then put your wax lids on, then your main lids, pop them in the fridge. So if you are making these for gifts, make them in advance.
I mean, how beautiful is that? I love the fact that they're not all matching. I think that's absolutely wonderful. And you've got at least 7 people there, if you give all of those away, who are going to be so happy.
Yeah, and we got the one in there for Tom.
Yeah, exactly.
So there we go. So that's our really quick and simple strawberry jam.
But what a wonderful Christmas gift. You know, Mark, the thing about you always deliver the joy.
And I've got to ask,
a pleasure.
that is
a pleasure.
the best necklace I think I've ever seen.
Oh, I bet you say that to all the girls.
Coming up, it's pudding time, and later we play a fun game with Reindeer Poo.
I adore traditional Christmas pudding. It's like a gift-filled stocking packed with exotic fruits from around the world. Intensely moist, sweetly spiced flavours. As for my daughters, they're the one thing during the holidays they're not tempted to eat. It was time to create a brand new Christmas pudding. My flaming double chocolate Christmas pudding with brandy sauce. I need some ingredients. Thank you, my little elf. Right, to make this double chocolate Christmas pudding, we have soft brown sugar, self-raising flour, eggs, buttermilk, oil, some baking soda, cocoa, 2 types of chocolate, because it is a double chocolate Christmas pudding, vanilla, 3 eggs into the bowl. These will be whipped up for about 3 to 5 minutes till they're light and fluffy. Now, as you can see, that's light and fluffy. The first thing to do now is add all the wet ingredients. So in goes the buttermilk and the oil. Let's mix that up a little bit. Just mix it in. There we go, that's all mixed in. Now we can add the sugar. The cocoa powder goes on there. The baking soda goes in there. We'll add a little bit of vanilla. That was a bit much. Right, but now comes the good thing. We'll put the flour there, the milk chocolate into the flour, and the dark chocolate into the flour. Now we'll mix that in, because we're almost there. The final thing from these ingredients will be the carrots. So we'll just grate in a couple of carrots. So this is like a carrot cake. If you think of a carrot cake, why am I putting vegetables in a Christmas pudding? If you like carrot cake, you're gonna love this. Just grate that in there. Here we go. So this red color is going to help color of the pudding. That's all mixed. This is what it should look like. But this is going to taste lovely. But if we add one more thing, it's going to elevate it. That one thing is some nice fresh orange zest. Chocolate and orange, we all know, nothing new, but boy, does it taste good. So, about half a whole orange, lemon zest in there, and that is going to make it gorgeous. Today, I'm going to use a jelly mold and an old Christmas pudding mold from years ago. All we do is grease your mold quite liberally. Don't be shy. Get the butter all in there and plenty of it. The same with the jelly mold. Get it in the dimples. And this jelly mold is very thick. Putting it in a steamer, it's not going in the oven, it's going in a steamer. It'll be absolutely fine. A little dust of flour. The flour is going to help it become non-stick. So after steaming, the pudding will just pop out, which is ideal. There we go, absolutely coated. And there's the other one. Now, this will make 2 decent sized 1 kilo puddings, 4 small ones, so you can give them away. And what you want to do is fill it a little over 3/4 because it will rise. Just over 3/4 full, a little bit of space to rise. Now we need to cover them. All we need to do there is a little bit of baking paper. Now, if ever you've made a circle, just put it to the center of the pudding mold like that. And that's the one for the round. And for the oval one, nice thing is just mark it there and there, and then just cut roughly an oval. Doesn't have to be too exact. And that fits the oval pudding.
The paper will stop the pudding from sticking to the tin foil. Making a small tent at the top will allow the pudding to expand. The tin foil helps seal the steam during cooking, so make sure you tie them tightly with string. We're steaming the puddings for just over 2 hours. Place the first pudding into the steamer.
There's 1, there's 2, lid on, and steam it for about 2 hours. After 2 hours, you just take it off. Let's get on with the brandy sauce. So I have half a cup of milk, half a cup of cream. We bring those to a gentle simmer, then take it off the stove, add the chocolate, but it will need a little bit of a whisking to help it come together and be nice and velvety. There we go. Now I'm going to add the butter. That'll add a little bit of gloss and richness. Just a drizzle, about that much. Whisk it in. Just pour our brandy sauce. There you go, nice and thick. There we go, our white chocolate brandy sauce. The puddings are ready. Let's unmold them. Don't worry if you think they're not cooked, they will be cooked. I have what are called chef's hands, so if you could use your oven mitts, we'll undo the jelly mold. There we go, snip. Take off the foil. That is hot. There we go, the easiest way to unmold it. You turn it upside down. And if we've done our job correctly, and by that I mean me, let's see if we can unmold it. There we go. Next, we need to burn it with some Christmas brandy, because it is a flaming pudding. Right, got some brandy. Now, one tip I'll give you is hot brandy will burn a lot longer than cold brandy. So instead of just lighting it with a match, there we go. We'll just heat it up on a flame. Be careful because this is alcohol. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this, don't worry about it. When the brandy is hot, it will automatically ignite. There we go. Now we've turned down the kitchen lights so you can see this. Pour the hot ignited brandy all over, and there's your flame. That's so lovely, Santa's going to visit you twice.
Next, Annabelle's back for a fun game.
Christmas games are a tradition that go back hundreds of years, and as you know, we play them every year here. So, what we're going to do today is a game with a twist.
Yeah, before we do that, I just want to say something to make sure it's absolutely clear. You know, with my strawberry jam, if I want to make sure that it really does set, I can put it back on the boil, can't I?
You can.
You can put it back on if you want to.
For a minute or 2 or 5, basically until it sets, and just do the jam set test. And when it sets, it's good to start bottling.
Now listen, I've got to ask you this crazy question, but it's really important.
Okay.
Where did you come up with this idea for the poo game?
I can't tell you. We've played this. It's one of our top 10 games.
Yes.
And what you do, you get some old tissue boxes.
Yes.
wrap them in Christmas paper, and basically we're going to turn these into Reindeer Poo boxes. And you know they're Reindeer Poo boxes because it says so.
Yeah, and you use the glue to attach it, and you make this cavity a little bit bigger.
Yes. So the cavity for the balls to come out, cut it a little bit larger.
Sure.
But then the big thing is we need to attach it to the belt.
Oh, now this is interesting. Oh,
And what we
Lord.
do here, I've made 3 holes in the belt that line up with 3 holes in the box. All we do
Yes.
is use these little brass. Can you hold them up to the camera?
Yep, sure. These little brass tacks. You know, I didn't even know about these things. What do I know?
Yep.
Look at that. How
Put
clever
3
are
of
you?
those through the hole in the belt into
you-
the box.
You can always get a belt from the recycling or thrift shop, that's something like that, which is a good idea.
This is exactly where these came from.
Repurpose them. But this one,
Yes, it's vegan leather.
vegan leather. This one is clearly for a child. I mean, look, this is tiny.
Okay, now onto these.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to use traditional reindeer poo, which is this colour.
Yes.
And you're going to use Rudolph's.
Rudolph. I don't know quite what Rudolph's been eating, but anyway. Okay. Maybe lots of
So
strawberry
put
jam.
about 15 balls
Okay, 15 balls into the
into
cavity.
the egg. And then what we do, you have to, there we go, they hold about 15.
Perfect.
And then
All
the
right.
object of the game
Yes.
is 2 teams,
Each team gets 15 seconds.
and you have to shake
You don't need to worry about
to
that.
get as many out and cheat.
Well, you know what? If your party isn't fabulous after that, I mean, this is wonderful, Mark, but I've just got to say to you, all this fun and games, but let's have something to eat.
Let's eat.
You are the world champion.
So there we have it. A new take on a traditional dish. My double chocolate Christmas pudding. A meaningful gift with Annabelle's strawberry jam. And who knew reindeer poo could be so tasty? For this and loads of other Christmas recipe ideas, go to Christmas at the Castle. Merry Christmas! Next time, we have a show-stopping leg of ham with a super easy carrot salad. A great gift with Major Gray's mango chutney. And it's alien slime time!